So I thought I'd make a video about my experience being pregnant while in grad school and what it's been like for me to collaborate with my professors, with my clinical supervisors, and my clients, and just overall how it's been. So I first found out I was pregnant in February of 2024, and I had a projected due date of November 7th, which meant that I would be giving birth about 1 month before the end of my final academic semester. I had some options available to me where I could either take a leave of absence and then come back the following fall and finish my last academic semester then. Or I could, for some reason, they thought I would be able to come back after giving birth and finish out the semester in person. And those were really the only options given to me by the faculty. Thankfully, I was familiar with the Title IX office and my rights as a pregnant student. So I worked with the Title IX office to get accommodations from the faculty, and that process took months. So I started the accommodation process in June, and my accommodations weren't finalized until the very last week of August. And it was extremely discouraging because at first the faculty all denied my accommodations, saying that the program is in person and there's no exceptions for that. Like, you need to be in person, you can't be attending remotely, which it does say that in the graduate student handbook, but it just doesn't make sense, honestly, because our classroom is Zoom compatible, and it would only be for the last 4 weeks of class, and I would be able to be in person for all major things like projects and presentations that were set. All of my presentations were done by the middle of September, so I didn't need to be in person for any of those things anymore. And it was just discouraging to hear them say, "You'll be fine, and it's our choice if we want to accommodate you. If you need to miss class or whatever, that's your choice, but I'm not going to set the Zoom up for you." And the other frustrating part was some professors would say that, like, they didn't want to Zoom me in, but it was okay if one of my classmates Zoomed me in. So it just kind of felt like, it was like, I don't have a problem with you being on Zoom, but it's just I don't want to set the Zoom up for you. Thankfully, I could meet with my Title IX representative, and she was being a mediator between me and my professors so that I didn't have to do any of this directly with them, which ended up being a lot better, because when my professors tried to come to me to talk about this, I would get extremely emotional because it just felt like I wasn't being supported and that they were not being flexible, and it was just shutting it down, and they didn't want to think of any other alternative solutions. I was trying to think okay, if you don't want to do Zoom, could I have an audio recording? Could I have a note taker? Could I have this? Could I have that? I just want to finish the semester well, and I don't want to have to wait a year to finish the last month of class. So thankfully, my Title IX representative was able to be a mediator, be a liaison between me and them, And eventually all of my professors came around to allowing me to attend remotely in one way or another, whether that was that they would set the Zoom up, or that a classmate would set a Zoom up, or I could get an audio recording of the class or something like that. So that ended up being good. And then clinic has been difficult just because it's hard to engage in speech therapy when you're so pregnant. Like, a lot of speech therapists work on the ground. I'm definitely a person who is okay with flexible seating. Like, if my client needs to take a break on the ground, we can sit on the ground. If they want to sit in the chair, they can sit in the chair. Like, I'm okay with all of that, but it's just so hard when you're so pregnant to get down on the ground and then get back up and down and up and down and up. It's so hard. But I think overall I've had really positive experience with all my clients, and I've loved getting to work with them at this time. And I'm really grateful for my classmates who are so amazing. They are like the best part about being pregnant in grad school, is like I have felt so supported by them, and they all have had my back, especially with like all the accommodations stuff. And they've all been so nice to me by saying like, oh yeah, we will take over your clients, no problem. Like, we don't have an issue with doing this. We don't have an issue with sending you our notes. We don't have an issue with anything. And they have just made me feel like I can do it, and that I'm going to be able to finish this semester, not only just finish it, but finish it well. And so I'm really grateful to them for that. So I would say, if you are thinking about getting pregnant in school, I would just say, know your rights. Collaborate with the Title IX office in your school. Understand that like every situation is unique. So for me, like, this was the last semester I had of classes, so I feel like that's what made it make more sense for me to get accommodations instead of taking a leave of absence. But had I gotten pregnant sooner, I feel like it would have been better to do the leave of absence, because there would have been more semesters to complete, a lot more time left under my belt. I think no one gets to tell you that's like when a good time to have a baby and to start having a family is. And no one gets to ask you personal questions about if your pregnancy was planned or why you got pregnant or anything like that. And if you are having any of those experiences, I would definitely speak with your Title IX representative, because those are reportable. I think if you feel like it's a good time for you to have a baby, or even if it's a surprise, like, it is possible. It's challenging, right? Like, it's challenging to go through. Each trimester has its own issues and things. So first trimester was really tired and I was really sick, and I found it hard to balance doing my schoolwork and my regular like job along with being pregnant and getting sick all of the time. That was really difficult. And then the second trimester, I was having a hard time with just getting bigger, and I was tired and hungry all the time. And then this last trimester, just feeling like so towards the end where it's like, again, just so tired. Just feeling tired, like, and having all of these responsibilities on top of my school responsibilities. You know, it's hard. I don't want to say like that it's been easy peasy lemon squeezy, but it is possible. It's challenging, but it's possible. And if you take advantage of your resources, and if you have a good faculty, and people in your corner, that it just makes it a lot more manageable. So there you have it. That's what I would say is my experience with being pregnant in grad school. And if you want to be pregnant in grad school, I wish you all the best, and I know you can do it. So thanks for watching.